I discuss my family so much, reader. I do hope you don't think me conceited. Sometimes, in the light of the moon, you seem like an option. I can see you in those nights, you know? And you always appear just a little different. I can recall times you have blonde hair and you sit across from me. You tuck your hair behind your ear and listen to me prattle on for hours. You're so kind, and you give me your undivided attention. One other nights, your hair and even your build has changed. You're more stern, and you laugh at the ironic parts of my tales. You give me your honesty and company. But every night, every isolated, lonely evening, I look forward to our next visit. And I feel sad that I cannot give you more. We find ourselves back in the Golden Gull. The midday times do not have a lot of casual drinkers. Not yet, anyway. Some bartenders get ready for the evening rush as you all commiserate in your various failings and successes of the day. Marking plans to infiltrate once more the Baron's estate. You can smell the food being prepared early, the clinking of glasses, the muttering of bartenders and staff to each other as you mull over your next moves.
So, tomorrow I can try and get our librarian friend to give us maybe a couple more seats into the council, but so far, from what he said, his exact words were a couple people to come in. I can try talking with him again tomorrow to see exactly how many, but
maybe if only a few of us can get in, I think Osmond should get in. Maybe he can come with you.
okay. But in terms of figuring out what our next moves in terms of making sure that everything stays shut and that whatever is affecting the plants isn't the curse, because it's affecting them from this far, that means it's not far off if anything right closer than we thought. And I hate that.
Yeah, it's not a particularly pleasant one.
Well, for tonight, is it just going to be Ariane going out?
I mean, I can go. I'm pretty sure I can stay unseen, especially if one of us puts up Pass Without a Trace. Shouldn't be too hard.
That might be better if you do want to come with. It might be better for you to do that. Just because the thing I do, I don't think it'll work if I cast a spell.
Okay. I can do it. Cool. Because, I mean, I can beat whatever. Like, I figured I'd just beat something small and dark that could hide in plain sight.
We going tonight? How long until this thing, meeting, whatever?
We're on the 12th.
It's the 12th, correct? So it's in 2 days.
2 days.
The 14th.
Yeah, we could go tonight if you want.
And then that way I can catch up on my sleep. Day after. Or just sleep the rest of the day tomorrow.
Oh, when were your clothes going to be done? We need to go check that in. Especially if you are going to this meeting.
Right.
Could have given the timeline just that they'd be done before the event.
Yeah, so that might be something we need to check in. I also don't know, I believe it was going to be a couple days after the event that the masthead is going to be done, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He
if
said
we
like
wanna-
end of the week.
Yeah, so I don't know if we were wanting to jump ship immediately.
Yeah, aren't we supposed to be meeting some of those other people here?
Yeah, that's one
How
thing I wanted
long?
to point out is I wanted to meet up with them. They said 5 days is when they'd be able to get here, yeah?
It should be. It took us. What, take
We
us
also
2
flew,
days?
though.
Yeah, we flew.
also flew. They went on foot, I think.
Yeah, so...
So we'll be in the city regardless for the next couple of days.
So we
Exactly.
should be able to meet up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
So I guess we got some free time till the sun goes down, at least.
exactly.
Just don't go to the port.
Don't go to the port. Everyone there is awful.
I think I might take a nap.
If you're gonna be up, yeah, that would probably
yeah,
be a good
take a
call.
nap and then sleep in tomorrow. And then tomorrow, do you want to help me figure out what's going on with the crops?
Sure. We can do that.
Come find me before both of you leave.
Okay. Everything okay?
Yeah, I just have something that might be able to assist in your journey.
Exciting. Alright, well, see almost all of you tomorrow, yeah?
Alright.
Cool. I'm gonna go pass out. Now my head hurts.
For the sake of expediency, and for not delaying this any further, we have the next 2 days. Of course, a few conversations and everything need to start. Any shopping that you would like to do, we could do very quickly with some bookkeeping. So to begin, for this day, does any conversation need to happen? I believe, Osmond, you said you wanted to say something.
Well, they were going to be checking out the place at night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I just wanted to catch them before they left.
When do you find them?
Whenever they're about
Probably.
to leave, I told them to come.
Okay, so about dusk.
Probably right before we leave.
Yeah. Okay, and we don't have to like roleplay or anything. The only thing I wanted to do was cast enhance ability at a 3rd level on both of them.
Shit!
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah!
And I'll give Nathan the Cat's Grace advantage on dexterity checks.
Mm.
And then after talking with Arion, then would I get the sense that something along those lines wouldn't really help him much?
Probably not. He would probably just straight up tell you he can turn himself invisible.
Okay, so then I'll give Arion Lin Fox's Cunning, so you have advantage on intelligence checks like investigation and stuff like that.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
So that is all.
So we're starting with the infiltration?
So Dave's probably just gonna finish her drink and mellow out after that whole debacle.
Yeah, Vola's just like, I need to go draw some. So she's probably gonna like just like sit there at like and drink her drink, like because she and Dave both ordered things.
Yeah,
and just
we
like
ordered strong stuff.
we ordered strong stuff, and probably just like scribble in her sketchbook.
Dave's probably gonna watch you and be like really interested and try to like think about like your drawings and maybe poke around in her books for a bit. Just hang out with Vola a little bit.
Yeah, hang out
Nice.
time.
So the night comes. You both meet with Osmond, who gives you his blessing. The city streets quiet down. It seems nightlife here in Morum isn't as crazy as you might imagine a big city to be. There's the few odd strangers, passers-by, merchants making their way back into their stalls. Sorry. And you, of course, lead him back the way you came, Arianlin.
Yep. Using my cloak of shadow.
You find the large gates from before. Easily traversable at this point. Nathan, are you staying as you are, just trying to vault it?
Actually, once we get to a point where if I change, it'll be noticed. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace, and then I'm gonna shift into cat, black cat.
Black Cat?
Mm-hmm.
You fit easily through the bars. Clearly they did not expect cats being a primary issue with intruders. Ariana, you find the rooftop that you found before, leapt between it and the bars until you vaulted over entirely, landing on the soft grass. Are you still visible at this point?
No, I think probably by this point, like, once we started to get close, I would have put up my cloak of shadows.
Excellent. So where
I
do you
would have
go?
let Nathan know that I'm doing it. And, like,
Yes, of course, he cannot see you while you are invisible.
Yeah.
And so, once he's ready, I'll start making my way in.
Alright, you cannot see him. So you are, for all intents and purposes, on your own unless you find some way to lead him.
Well, soft grass, so it wouldn't necessarily be foot thing. Shit, didn't think about this. Okay, I would probably... Damn it, we should have discussed this beforehand. I'll probably just, like, once we're inside, I'll probably just kind of, like, whisper to Nathan, hey, just, fuck. Oh, he'll be like, I don't suppose you could, like, maybe, this is all whispered, maybe a mouse or something might be a little better, then you can just kind of, like, stay, like, I can put you in, no, because then you just be floating, never mind. Get near the door. Just get near the door.
Okay, then I'll just kind of flick my tail and move toward the door.
What color cat are you again?
Black.
There are still guards. You see a bunch dressed in their armor with their spears, a few with swords, one or two with arrows strapped to their backs. Nathan, why don't you make a stealth check with advantage?
Okay. My brain just decided to shit out on me and told me that I should roll a d10 instead of a d20. Took far too long to rectify. Not onto the floor, dumbass. Good job.
I didn't realize we were playing with a 7th player.
Oh shit. Okay. Sorry. 31.
Crazy dice.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
cats get a +2. No wait, they get a +4. So 33.
Damn. And then what does pass without a trace do? Does that just automatically
Add 10.
Plus 10.
adds 10? Oh my
So I rolled
gosh.
a 19 on the die.
Whoa. Okay. You sneak past with ease. The gentle wind hides your every footstep as you silently creep behind the guards. The door, of course, is closed, but you find a window to leap through. Just open just enough for the size of a cat.
Shit.
Are the guards close to the window?
Ish, yeah.
I don't suppose I could feasibly just like crawl through it like very slowly, or would I have to open it?
You would have to open it some more to do it.
I'll do it. I'll open it a little more.
Make a
Let's play it
sleight of
real
hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Not great. 14.
What was that? The guards, one of them... Did you hear something? Maybe. Did you? From this way. Comes over towards the window.
Is it open a little more, or is it still
A little. They just heard it.
okay? Like enough that I can get through?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna do that. I'm invisible.
You do so. You do so fast you almost fall flat on your face, but because of your training you find purchase just fine. Right as you clear the windowsill, the guard's hand is where your head just was.
Ooh.
And he shuts the window. You'll remember inside was very lavish. You see, of course... What?
Is there anybody in the room?
Nope. The inside is very lavish. This room it seems to just be something like a study. You see books and bookshelves, desks, expensive candles that smell faintly of juniper. Especially with your senses, Nathan, it smells very strongly. Beautiful Scythian drapes of a dark red. Everything that you could really imagine an expensive manor to have, it's here.
Like, is there like a bundle of incense?
No, they're candles.
Oh, okay, cool. Dang it. Okay. So then I'm just kind of like looking around, not sure where Ari is.
So I'm gonna lead him back to how I did, and as long as nobody's around, I'm going to use my staff as a walking stick and very lightly tap the ground as I go.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. Okay. That's a 16.
Alright, you follow the trail. There's plenty of twists and turns and winding hallways in this place with different staircases that go up. None that go down. You find your way just a few corridors over from where the room was, Arianlin, until you hear it. Large footsteps and a cane. A large green figure with purple tattoos. An orc in robes, struggling his way up the stairs, muttering something to himself.
Can I listen in?
You have to get closer.
Would I be able to hear?
You might.
Okay.
Make another perception check with advantage. Because you are a cat and it relies on hearing.
Ooh. Perception, that's 21.
21? That cursed fool, he mutters to himself. Most of what he says is inaudible. Speaking about a tiefling of various enemies, nameless in nature. He clears the top step and vanishes from your sight towards the guest quarters, presumably.
Okay.
Again, Nathan looks around because he can't. Oh no, wait, he was hearing Ariana's footsteps, so he kind of like guesses how high his head is and just kind of, if a cat could raise an eyebrow.
You're not gonna see his reaction, so it doesn't matter. So he's just gonna and I'm gonna continue with him until we get through the room.
Alright. Leaving the orc behind, you make your way back through the various passages, keeping away from the servants, remembering their routes and their routines. It isn't until you find one out-of-the-way hallway that curves down a little, opening up into this large room with stairs on one of the walls that lead upwards. Stone floors, unlike the rest of the house, which is made of wood. And various cabinets, candles. You would expect this to be no different from the rest of the house if you didn't see what you saw the other night. Also, I said stone. These are wood floors. I don't know why I said stone. They are wood floors.
So it is like the rest of
It is like the rest of the house. Basically, I'm an idiot. Leave me alone.
Okay. So is the door there, or was it like a secret door?
You do not see any door.
But I'm gonna find it because I know it was there.
Alright, what do? You just look around?
Yeah, I'm gonna look around, kind of like, because this is the room where I saw what's his face walk out, right?
McKeith, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm gonna just kind of like feel along the wall of where approximately I saw him walk out of, and see if I can't find like a handle, or if like there's a difference in texture.
Make a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
Have like the staff taps kind of ceased at this point?
Yes.
So then I'm just gonna try and sniff around.
Okay.
That's a no.
It's a no, what you roll? Oh, yeah, no.
No.
It's hard to tell. Every crook in the wood on the walls feels like it could have been opened. Nathan, you sniff around. Make a perception check as well.
And since I'm a cat, I have advantage.
Do you?
Yeah, cats have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Cats are dumb. That's right, Cat. I said it.
So that's gonna be a 22.
The air is fresher here. You can tell the entire room, the whole mansion must have been made out of ironbark. Intricate, delicate carvings. You see, you look around the walls expecting something like a door to be on one of those, but something draws you downward. You look at the rug on the floor.
I'm just gonna, try and nudge it up a little.
Empty space. But there is something about this room. An entrance somewhere. A door would be too easy.
I'm just gonna, kind of sit next to it and kind of knead it a little bit and purr at Ariana, hoping that he hears.
I imagine he would hear that.
Yeah, if I heard that, I'd look down and, move the rug.
You move the rug, it is an empty space, but it is out of place. The boards go a different direction than everything else in the room. A different direction of planks.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be here. I'm gonna search for a latch or a handle, something. It's gotta be here.
Perception.
Okay.
Could I assist him?
Sure, with advantage, Ariana.
That's so much better. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing. You do not see any latch or lever. But your foot glides over one of the planks and it moves.
Ha!
It shifts with your footstep.
Yeah, no, I'm moving it. This is exactly what we're here for, yeah.
You find it stops and nothing happens. Other wood planks could be moved to fill its spot. And you see the intricacies of this flooring become something of a puzzle piece.
Yes. I do enjoy a puzzle. I think for the purposes of this, I'm going to drop my Cloak of Shadows and I'm gonna ask Nathan to help me try and figure this out.
Oh yeah, Nathan's starting to just analyze how things could fit together better will be shifted.
However way you treat it, it seems that all of these pieces can be moved to form a picture.
Ah.
Although it seems the picture made doesn't always fit right. You assess that finding the right picture would grant you access.
The right picture? Are there any pictures in here? Like any portraits or landscapes or anything?
There's one of the Baron himself. Shaven sides, curly brown locks. There's a few different landscapes, so many of them have oceans, trees, grass, mountains. One is of a house, presumably the first house of the barony. This intricate, carved, handmade thing, very obviously before the craftsmen went to work on this mansion.
Do we
I'm
lots
a cat.
of options.
Shit.
We have lots of options. I'm gonna look around and just kind of look at Nathan. Well, what do you think? Where should we start?
About how far away was the last person we saw?
The last person you saw would have been the orc who went up the stairs.
Okay, then I'm gonna shift back into Nate. Okay. So, I mean, the main thing I've seen all over town is the iron woods. So if we hinge into a tree, that might be one option. I feel like it's not going to be anything that's it's still worth a try, though.
I'm up for trying anything at this point. So we'll make it into a tree.
You shift the pieces around. A few of the pieces of wood actually curve in various directions to make more realistic boughs of the tree. And it fits perfectly.
Ah!
You hear a series of levers from beneath you. Click, click, click. Various gears turning until the picture of itself starts to lower and move to the side. You're thrown off of it. You have to find purchase on more of these solid wood. And you see stone steps leading downward into darkness.
I guess just... Do you want to go first or should I?
Give me a sec. I'm going to shift back into a cat.
It starts to
Cloak of
close.
Shadows.
It starts to close.
In.
Run in, and then Cloak of Shadows.
You hurry down the stairs, and it closes and latches behind you.
Getting out of here is going to be a trip.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
You make your way down the stairs, and you feel a breeze. Like finding the outside after being trapped in a cave. A pleasant thing, gentle, familiar. And you see light at the very bottom of the stairwell.
I'm gonna slowly make my way down.
Yeah, no, I am definitely in my Cloak of Shadows at the moment. So,
Can I see any traps at all?
Perception.
oh yeah, that's probably a good thing. I don't like the sound of
Yeah, 7.
that. Oof.
You see nothing? Do you hurry down anyway?
I'm gonna go slow. I definitely don't want to
Alright.
trigger any traps, so I'm going slow, taking my time, searching for anything that might give us away.
Perception as well.
It's not great, but I'm good at perception, so that's 17.
You see no traps.
Okay.
Cool.
Still gonna go kind of slow, but still gonna is Nathan in front of me or behind me?
I do not know. He's a cat. Answer this, Nathan.
He'd probably if you're not tapping your staff, then he's just gonna
Yeah.
go at a steady pace down.
No, that's what I was asking. Is because if he's behind me, I'm gonna tap on each step.
Okay. It takes you a while, but you get to the landing. And you're blinded a little bit by the light that is still in the next room. And you see this large, empty space. Housed in a large stone room. Covered in grass. And you see, like a faint hill in the very center of the room. A stump.
Does it look like the curse?
No?
Or like it has been cursed? No.
And you see magical lights floating around in the room like fireflies. An otherworldly breeze blows through the area, very gently, very subtle. And the grass is fresh. Huh?
No, continue.
The grass is fresh and green and lively. In fact, on a normal person, it would probably go up to your ankles.
Huh. Is it bright light in here, or is it just like the magical light and it's still kind of dim?
Kind of dim.
Can I sense if there are any magics being done in this area?
What kind? Like specifically, like in what capacity?
Nature magic.
Nature magics? Sure, roll nature.
What the fuck is this? I mean, that's alright, that's still a 14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
The natural world thrives in this space. It is hard to tell if it is magic or just the gift of nature itself. Something greater than anything you've seen is in this room. But you get the odd afterthought of farewell. It's hard to describe. Feeling the end.
That's concerning.
Not in the same way you would feel like Eliza or necromancy or death, but just having the weird sense of finding something at the end of its life cycle.
I'm gonna slowly make my way through the grass toward the stump.
Same. I'll follow him.
You do so.
Especially since he can't see me, I'll follow him for a change.
You do so. There is a sense of serenity and peace here, as well as a touch of sadness. You make your way to the stump, and it is rather large surface area. The stump itself is several meters thick, but only about a foot and a half tall.
I'm gonna shift back into my...
Alright?
And I'm gonna just run my hand over the stump, trying to see if there's any life force left in it.
You touch your hand to the stump, and it is a very powerful feeling. The natural world has always found its way to work through you, Nathan. It is only in this instance that you are humbled by such a powerful, ancient creature. It is well known in the Janusaar by many magicians and wizards But the older something is, it is generally more powerful. If it was an ocean, you would dive into it. You'd wrap yourself in it if you could. And you have a strong sense of another presence. Is that you?
What level is that? Hang on. Just to make sure I have the spell slot. Yep. I'm gonna cast Speak Plants.
Alright.
I'm just gonna speak into it. Are you waiting for someone?
Who is this? McKeith.
No. This is Nathan.
Oh. Hello. Nathan.
Was he supposed to take care of you?
The opposite, really. He found me very young, and I have taken care of him since.
Is there a reason he's done this to you?
I just wanted him happy. He found me in my prime. He was just a boy. I gave him a friend for a time. And then I gave him parts of myself so that he might grow.
But lately he's taken too much.
Soon there will be no more to give. But it's fine. I have lived a long life, and I enjoy taking care of the boy.
Is there any way I can help? I have magics. I can.
Your natural magics will not do you any good here, Druid. I am not originally of this world. My gifts are not of my own, but of a goddess.
I have religious friends with equally powerful magics. Maybe they can
No,
help.
no. All things must come to an end. And mine is soon,
Cycle.
indeed. I'm sorry I have no more to give you.
No. Honestly, being able to such a powerful being such as yourself is.
I don't feel very powerful these days. I hold within me, I have the power to grant wishes. My time is soon. If you need anything of me, you seem trustworthy.
And many selfish thoughts go through Nathan's head.
With my body, I can make anything magical, mundane, anything you can dream. The boy waits for me jealously. He doesn't want to give me up. He doesn't understand what little time I have left.
You said you can render something magical mundane.
Potentially.
I know you don't have much strength, but there is a plague to affecting those like you. And I don't have the capacity to fix it at this time.
I have felt this plague before. Long ago. Unfortunately, this is the one thing I cannot do for you.
What you're saying.
My children are not so magical as I.
And I'm gonna look into the room and just say, Ari, it's not going to be a lifelong, but it does have the ability to grant wishes. And I can't think of anything worthwhile that it would be able to do. Obviously speaking of it.
I'm back in that's amazing. I've never seen or heard of anything like that. I don't know what we could do, I'm assuming we can't it probably can't help us at all with, I don't suppose it can help with the curse at all, can it?
No, it's felt it before, and that's outside of its.
Then, is there anything, maybe you just even, I'm not sure how it would help, sort of more information on the Satuj and the weapons that you all need to stop the witch, or if it knows anything about her. I can't think of anything other than more information.
So I'll turn back to the tree. You said you felt this curse before. Meaning you know about the witch.
The trees tell tales. My roots stretch far beyond the rift of rain.
So you can reach beyond the rift.
In a sense, I have a general understanding of the natural world at large.
Will the rift keep her out?
Perhaps. Unfortunately, it is not my expertise. There are ways of bypassing such a powerful force, even one created by a god. And I suppose one of them would be me.
And if you were to make it permanent, the rift.
It is permanent already, in a sense. Magic can be fortified so much. Walls, no matter how strong, can always be torn down.
And you said you are one of the ways it can be.
Theoretically, should someone wish it, I could create something that could bypass the rift entirely.
Could you create something like the weapons that are meant to kill her.
It was not made for a destructive purpose. But I could try. I have one final wish in my being. Is this how you would like me to use it? I will be here tomorrow, should you find me, young druid.
I'm gonna turn to Ari. It can be used to break the seal. Theoretically. But also theoretically may be able to be used to make something to help stop Eliza. I don't want to make a decision and fuck this up, because I tend to do that. So I'm trying to... If you have any better ideas, but if not, then we need to come back and try to do something tomorrow.
I take it this is in Elvish?
Yeah. Like, if he's not talking in a group with you, it's... No.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Okay, so, my vote, I'm leaning a little more towards, because we have to, the whole reason we're here is to basically close this rift, right? Even if it's not permanent and might buy us some time. On the other hand, if it can just make one of the weapons appear, that's good, but what good is it if she can use the rift to get out, so we might have to come back.
Okay.
I think the better option is closing the rift, but if we're only getting one shot at this, I also don't want to blow it. So.
Right. And I'll try and see if I can do something to at least prolong how long they have.
My life is not dictated by age or water or sunlight, merely until someone requests the final wish from me.
Okay. This would be a really good time to have one of my husband's long distance talk. I pull out the Rocky Talkie.
Hey!
Wow, we're using that since God, how last year before that, what was last
I'm
time
being
about-
transported through time.
Oh my god.
Who has the other one?
I do.
I think
It is pretty late at night, so it's like this. It's like the third hour of the following day.
3 a.m.
Vola,
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Vola, you wake your ass up. I need help. And I'm just gonna like flick it. And be like, Vola.
I imagine you like do the thing where you like roll over on your bed and you're like.
Oh, and Azervana's my roommate too, so I'm just like,
And I'm just gonna say, Vola, you either answer or I'm never casting Speak with Plants on you again.
Oh!
Oh, threat.
Oh,
Azervana, you hear this then? I imagine you wake up then, because it's
I'm like,
Yeah, she'd be like,
the Rocky Talkie's not made for stealth ops, so it's rather loud when it like a normal person's talking, like as if Nathan was in the room with you.
okay, I'm like,
So like in your ear, Bola, Bola, Bola.
okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, grab into my bag, and I'm gonna like pull it out, and I'm gonna be like, Nathan?
And this wakes you up too, Azervana.
she sits up like, what the fuck? Who dares?
I know it's late, but I need
Yes.
I need to talk to husband right now.
Okay.
There's a big decision, and I can potentially fuck a lot of shit up.
Okay. You need to talk to Osmond?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll go find him. And I'm just gonna turn to Azra and be like, I have to go find Osmond. Because Nathan needs to talk to him. Even though she can hear.
Yeah.
As Ravana's out of it too, she's like, she
Okay.
gives Vola a thumbs up and just slowly lays.
I imagine she like,
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm like, okay, be quiet for a second because I have to go into the hallway. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the hallway. I'm gonna go find Osmond's room, and I'm just gonna like, knock. It's Osmond and Daya's room. I'm just knock.
Right. Yep. A couple seconds go by. You hear like the shuffle of feet towards the door. Osmond opens it.
I'm gonna keep knocking it along.
Yes.
I'm just gonna be like, Nathan needs to talk to you.
Osmond kind of like looks towards the window.
She hands you
Realizes
just
it's
a
still-
rock. Like, it's a rock. There's no, like, holes in it. There's nothing to depict that it is magical in nature. It's a rock.
You know, if we hadn't been through weirder things, I might think we're crazy.
This is Plautus levels of bullshit. I need help.
God.
Loud
What
levels
is
of-
going on?
Oh my god!
Okay.
What the fuck is
What's the situation, Nathan?
The thing under McKeith's house is the oldest thing I've ever felt. It's a tree, and it potentially has the power to grant wishes, but to a certain degree. It can't fix the plague, but we have a couple options that Arya and I have. We can close the rift. We can bring one of the weapons or create one, but I'm not sure what to do right now. But it
DM,
only
would I know anything about wishes at all? Or like any sort of like
Wishes
surrounding
are finicky things. They're fickle things. You can specific desires must be expressed as specifically as possible, or any number of things can happen. In the sense that that Nathan is speaking, Nathan, I'm going to be a little more specific because I don't think I explained this very well. The rift itself is already, there is no opening. The rift exists. So when you say close the rift, what do you mean?
seal it.
It is sealed.
Okay, then I guess never mind what that was.
Okay. It seems the tree is offering...
Well, then wait, hold on. I thought that's what we were here for. Is that we had to talk to Orson because he's like one of the few people who can like
Get out.
open it or keep it shut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we were trying to go through the rift. I thought that's why we were here.
I think what we're
We're
trying to
trying
do
to
is
keep-
prevent Eliza from getting out.
to Orson.
Yeah, and Orson
Yeah.
and the other witches in that coven know how to open it, and we want to make sure
And it
they
doesn't
don't
do
do
that. Okay.
So sorry, that needed to be clarified. In the confines of the tree, it is insinuated that she can use a wish to create something of extreme magnitude. So wishes, again, Osmond, are fickle things. You have to know exactly what you want. And
So-
how you want it done.
So Nathan, is it only giving you a couple options, or
It's saying it has a wish left. Those were just the ones that Ari and I came up with what it had said. I have a ton of other ideas, but those are honestly really selfish.
a wish is not something to take lightly nor use on a whim.
Hence why I am talking right now.
Okay, Vola, can you go get Azavana up? And over here?
And I'm like, okay.
what is going on?
We all have.
Do I need to get everybody?
I
No,
said
that is
a
everything.
family meeting.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over and I'm just gonna like walk back into my room and I'm gonna be like, Azarvana, Osmond wants to talk to you and all of us.
She's
feel
gonna
like
slowly
this is
sit back
supposed
up
to
and
be-
be like,
As Ravana like pops up with her bed head.
This is like when a kid gets arrested, and this is like the one phone call.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Anyway,
like
you
the
get-
fifth time.
You get Asravana up.
Okay, we're going back to Osmond's room. Osmond and Dea's room. I'm just gonna sit on the floor in their room and try not to fall back asleep.
Okay, right. So here's what's going on, and I'll just noodle everything that we just talked about. I figured it would be good to have everyone here because this seems like it's going to be something very hefty that we all have to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want another one of my gardening mishaps.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it.
Nathan, can you talk to the tree and see what the extent of the wish it can grant is? Like, are we able to wish for anything, or does it have a very specific realm of capabilities that it can access?
So I'm gonna need to cast that anyway. But it's okay. I have all my spells out to do it with that face up. So I'm gonna cast Speak with Plants again. I'm making sure that I don't mess this up. Is there are there any restrictions as to what you can do with this, other than obviously the amount of power that can be used?
My abilities are physical. I can craft almost anything to accomplish most tasks, large and small. I sacrifice a piece of myself to make this happen.
So, specifically material requests.
Right.
You'd be surprised what one can make with just materials.
Hold on 1 second. Let's turn it up. Let's just make sure we're alone real quick. I feel like this would not be a good conversation for anyone else to be listening into.
That's fair.
I'll sit down and cast Detect Magic and just assume someone else is going to do just a look around.
Yeah. I'll do look around.
You don't find
If you-
anybody.
yeah.
What?
The BA, yeah. Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say
And
you
I
didn't
don't-
have to use a spell slot. I have a ritual spell for that if you want.
I mean, I'm just using a spell slot for it just because the ritual will take time.
You're right. That's
And we're gonna go back to sleep after this.
Yes, 3 a.m.
But do I pick up anything magical that's not the stuff that we have on us?
You do not.
Okay, I think we're fairly alone. So it has to be something material. And
But it
it's...
could be magical.
I presume so. But from what it sounds like, we can't just wish one of the magic items to appear here.
Well, yeah, if you wish something to just show up, how does that happen?
Well,
Like, wouldn't it
something
be wouldn't it be like, what if someone's holding it? Like, would it just disappear out of their hand, or would they come with it?
I'm assuming
that's
it's
the catch of a wish.
Yeah.
But from what it sounds like from Nathan explaining is that we can't wish for something to be here, it has to be created.
Something made. Something new.
So, like, extreme, like what the people are doing to make the masthead, but like more intense, and fast.
Oh, this is.
And you said, how many wishes is it?
One.
Just the one.
Is
Honestly.
wait, and then it dies?
Yeah, there's literally nothing I can do. Which really sucks.
And Vol's just like sitting there like, like for like probably the next 5 minutes, she's like trying to comprehend why something would just give to, why it would do this, like why it would want to grant a wish and then just die. So she's there. Like,
So we already know of these artifacts and kind of where to find them, at least the rumors. So perhaps it would be best not to wish for something that would be akin to what those could accomplish. Perhaps we should think of something else that would benefit us. My first thought was maybe some sort of wand or talisman that's able to either halt or purify anyone who's been corrupted.
You hear footsteps. Oh. You hear footsteps, Nathan. Ariana. Rapidly approaching the downstairs.
Be quiet for a bit. And I'm gonna put the stone back in my bag.
Oh,
And I've used my 2 uses of druid shape like a dumbass.
It's rapidly approaching. You get louder and louder in your ears. Click of shadows.
I'm gonna polymorph into a cat.
Okay, black cat. Roll stealth.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah.
Shit. Wait, can I still...
What are you doing?
I'll just kind of hold up a finger to everyone else and just kind of hold the rock close to my chest to try to block any noise.
We don't get the +10.
Do you still have that thing Osmond gave you? How long does that last?
An hour, it's gone.
No.
Okay,
What'd you roll?
that's gonna be a fucking 12. There goes. Goodbye.
You see a pair of bare feet. A man in a red robe. Shaven sides and brown curly hair. A scar over his left eyebrow. Baron McKeith.
Fuck.
He gets down the stairs and he notices you. A cat.
I start licking my leg.
like you do.
Sell it.
To a cat.
Make a deception check?
Fuck, what's a cat's charisma?
I don't imagine very high. Okay, we're in different directions with
I
that.
think cats are very charismatic. They get away with a lot of shit.
It's true.
It's true, they
This is bad.
Oh no. Come on, Druid.
Know how to lick legs.
He's a 7.
Oh god.
That's their charisma. That's
Rip.
not what I
You
rolled.
go to
Oh.
wait,
Oh,
so
what
like
is
you're
it?
looking like your front leg?
Charisma.
You're looking like your front leg.
Mm-hmm.
You go to do it and then hairball. And you start dry heaving as Baron McKeith makes his way over to you.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
You can't.
I did roll an 8 on the deception.
I know you did. Was this cat always here? They seem to get everywhere. He nods towards the stump and smiles. Yes, I suppose they do get everywhere. And he walks away from you. He rolled a 4 on his dice.
Hey!
son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
My heart.
That tree saved your ass.
Goddamn.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I mean, it's a cat. It's a cat. Cats are everywhere.
The Baron walks up to the stump and sits down and puts his arm on it. I'm so sorry. Don't leave me yet. Then he touches the ringlets and traces through every circle he can find. What do you do?
Can't cast spells. Right now, I can't do shit because I'm a cat. I can't cast spells with all they work. So I'm just gonna like curl up.
Okay, so you just watch this play out?
I can't do
Yeah.
anything else. So yeah.
I don't know if I want to do anything else. I do kind of want to just watch this play out for
He sits in silence. The tree itself, if it's speaking, it's not aloud. He sits in silence and he mutters things to the tree, and the tree apparently whispers back, or he's crazy.
that checks out.
You see tears well up in his eyes. And he just says, of all the regrets I have in life, using as much of you as I did was the greatest. I know your time is limited, but I guess I'm a little selfish. And that hasn't changed. Is there a way you would like to complete? To finish your time? I have an idea over the next 2 days. And I think you'd like it. And he puts his head on the tree stump and just remains.
Just stays there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is the cat doing right now?
Okay.
The cat has probably made its way a little bit closer to him and just like sits and like rubs its head.
Oh, like to McKeith?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
You interact.
Yeah.
You know you're not a real cat, right?
The dice. No, I'm
Would
not
you-
a real fucking cat either.
What'd you roll?
That is technically a 0 because I rolled a 2 on
Oh, do cats have negative charisma?
the die. They have a 7! Why do cats have a 7 charisma?
Oh my god.
And it's polymorph, not wild shape, so it uses their mental stats.
You go up to like do the cat thing, but all you end up doing, whack. And he bats you away. And you should make a dex saving throw.
While this is happening, I'm gonna like walk back over to the stairs.
Oh, shit, if you take damage, doesn't that polymorph go, like...
Only if it drops to 0.
Only if it
Oh,
drops
really?
to zero.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's okay because I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay. So I need you to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
I have 1 hit point.
You're kidding!
Oh no!
Cats have 2. I'm at
Oh.
1 hit point.
Oh shit!
Oh, Jesus.
Cat's hurting.
Get the fuck out of there.
And he stands and he screams, "Get out!"
I'm running. Whether or not you leave, alright, that's up to you, but I'm looking about.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna follow him. I was gonna do a thing, but after seeing him get kicked, I'm running up with him.
You take a double take and you see McKeith crawl up onto the stump and lay there. You hurry out.
No. Yeah.
The door still a little bit ajar as you fit barely through. What now? All of you hear this going on, by the way. The Rocky Talkie does not exactly have any mute button.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, like, all of you are asleep and you hear, "Get out!"
Oh no, I
We
imagine
were
we've just
still,
been
like,
sitting
waiting,
around,
like-
just like
Yeah.
waiting to hear what's going on.
Yeah. So you hear that
He's
happen.
probably like nodding off a little bit as we're waiting for things, and then
Right.
So that went a little sideways.
Cat just nods.
We'll talk about it when we get back. I'm gonna take the Rocky Talkie, put
Well-
it in my bag, and
It's not. It was on his person. It got like transformed with him.
Oh, it got never mind.
polymorphed into
Poly-
the cat.
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's
Never
inside
mind.
me now.
Oh.
If he opens his mouth, you can hear Osmond's heartbeat.
So then I'm just gonna I'm gonna ask Nathan very quietly, can you find your way back by yourself, or do you need me to help you? I'll help you get out of here, but can you make it back to the tavern once we're out of the building?
Hello? What's going on?
Well,
I'm gonna.
second
Like,
verse, same as the first.
Just
I imagine like the pillows like muffled. And then you
Oh.
like the Stitch in the record player. You
Yeah.
Yay!
Anyway,
So same thing, just gonna lead him the way out. Same thing, just tapping the staff.
you find your way out just fine. It is so early in the morning. There is no one awake.
as soon as I'm through the gate, I book it as a cat, and then once
Yup.
we're like in the buildings, I polymorph out and just like pull the Rocky Talkie out. Yeah, we're talking tomorrow. Just walking through this.
Yep, I just run back invisible.
I'm just like, you made us sit up for 45 minutes?
I'm
What?
sorry. Gone quickly. I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna put the Rocky Talkie away.
You make your way back to the Golden Gull.
Jesus. I'll hand the Rocky Talkie back to Vola.
Cool. I'm gonna wrap it back up in whatever cloth I had it wrapped in. And go back to bed.
Yep.
Past Nathan in the
Let's do
hallway.
Back up to your
Have to
rooms,
sleep.
the middle of night. You fall asleep, albeit not easily. And that is where we're going to take a break. And we're back. You wake up the following morning. Everyone a little bit more on the tired side, with Nathan and Ariane arriving in a little bit later than what is expected.
I didn't see it on the menu. Is there like any form of like coffee or caffeine?
They do not serve coffee or caffeine here. They do have tea.
You can get a black. Has caffeine.
Daya's gonna order Nathan a tea if we're all down.
Yeah, what kind of tea are we talking?
We're talking like some black herbal tea from flowers and things picked, yarrow and flowers picked near the ravines.
It'll at least be soothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be eating my egg and mashed potatoes. No, hash brown. That's what those are called. The breakfast mashed
Your fine assortment of food is quite tasty,
Yay.
if not a little sketchy.
That checks out.
In the same way, like hotel eggs are kind of sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Hotel eggs
Oh,
are
yeah. Yeah.
It's like straight rubber off a tire.
Yep.
Ew.
Do we want to find like a nice corner where we're like away from thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is not a conversation for the open public.
Yeah. And the only time Nathan is just like staring at a knot in the wood, he is holding his cup just.
So, Nathan, what happened last night?
It was very disorienting from our side.
Yeah, I was
I
trying.
honestly thought it was a dream half time.
Sorry, I was trying to get the most amount of information I. So we made our way through the mansion. Ari was guiding me. Then we found a secret passage and made our way below the mansion. To this like grove where there was just this one stump, and I talked to the tree and it told what I told you guys. McKeith has been basically using it to gain power, and yeah, the rest of you guys know.
I mean, after that, what happened was someone down there with you?
McKeith. And I nearly got discovered, but luckily, cat meat is tough. So, yeah. But if we use this wish, the tree.
That's if we even can anymore.
Yeah. Because he stayed in there with it, and he already has an idea on how to have its time end, as he said.
So it sounds like it's going to get used regardless.
No.
Yeah. Just probably not by us anyway.
Unless he didn't use it last night, and we can try and get in again tonight.
So I guess I'm just a little confused. So this tree's life is tied to the amount of wishes it can grant?
Yeah, it literally gives a part of itself to make the wish come true.
Do we have any idea how long the Baron has been using it? Or how many wishes it's granted?
He said the Baron found him, but I mean, that could mean a great many amount of things, as he was there and felt the plague the first time. So, young is probably a very weird term in terms of this.
But you said it was talking to you, and
Yeah,
I presume it was in a different way than that of most plants you've spoken with.
it sounded
Alive? More so than...
like how one of the elders in my village sounded days before they died. Still alive, but barely. So it's on its last legs. But it is the oldest thing I've ever felt.
I can tell you're conflicted about this, Nathan.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how we should go forward from here? You're the one who knows plants better than the rest of us.
I know, and I'm trying not to be selfish. Because a lot of me wants to try and find a way to expose it, but then people are just going to grab at it. There's
Greed is a terrible motivator. If
As
anyone
much-
else knows about it, then I'm
as much as I
concerned
want to,
for its lifespan.
yeah, and as much as I want to try and keep it alive, that's not realistic. So if the Baron hasn't used it, the best thing we can do is either hope that he uses it for a good cause, or try and not fuck up the last of its life.
Well, we take that last witch. Baron will surely.
He'll know. Like, there's no doubt about it. He will know because he talks to it.
We have no idea what kind of man the Baron is.
Right. We don't, that's the thing, is we don't know. Vengeful. Or I don't know. But he sees it as a friend. And he'd probably see it how I would see it if anybody killed the plants. I'm trying to keep track of is it's not just snuffing out a plant, it's killing a friend. And
Yeah.
Are you sure he sees it that way?
he literally said he regrets using as much of it as he did.
Is
People live in
the
power.
Baron a druid?
DM, did I pick up
Because
any?
you said he was talking to the tree too. And I could only do that when you cast spell on me.
Unclear.
It may have been something he asked for.
The point I'm trying to get at is people in power many times often regret using their power. What if he thinks he sees this tree as his friend, but really he's only connected to it in such a vivid way because it's granted him so much and got him to where he is now?
I mean, he did say he regretted it.
And he did say he's sorry multiple times.
I
He
can
just
see what
kinda
Osmond's saying, though.
sat there with it for at least as long as we were there.
Yeah.
We can hope that he regrets it, that aspect, and not that he regrets he won't have any.
I don't trust nobles at all. So I don't necessarily trust either way, but I don't know. I can't tell. I can't know how genuine he was. All I know is I just want it to have a good life. That's all. And I don't know what the best course of action for that would be. So
Did he didn't use the wish there?
We
I don't know.
We got out of there as fast as we could.
Yeah. Once I was kicked, we book it.
And he said he planned on using the last wish in the next couple of days, right?
Yeah.
This is quite the dilemma. As far as we know, he hasn't used it for anything bad.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of, does he have a better plan for it than we do? Should we just trust his judgment and let him give his friend, as it would so seem?
To be honest,
Nice way
I'm
out.
not sure what we would use it for anyway.
Yeah,
Especially if all it can do is create things. I'm not sure what sort of boon it would give us even if we did decide to use it.
Yeah.
My main
Could you make
concern,
it to make a smaller tree? Like we
Like a sapling.
yeah, like turn it because you said it's really old, so maybe just turn it back into a baby.
Well,
I mean, we could, but I mean, I feel like we'd be stuck in the same cycle. It'd grow down there, and who knows
And
what McKeith
we'd
would
be-
use it
perhaps
for.
we'd
if
be
we stuck
present.
back in, we could wish for it to just become a normal tree, make itself into a normal tree. So it can just live out the rest of its life naturally instead of as this wish granting magic. I don't even really know what to call it at this point. I guess the point I'm getting at is we give it another chance at life, but one that it's not bound to by the power it possesses.
That would be nice.
My only concern is that someone else will get to it before we do, or before the Baron does.
Right.
I feel like the safe money is on. He's already used it. We can try and sneak in, but we can't. But we can't do it during the day. I can't, at least.
Neither can I.
So we'd have to wait till sundown, and my guess is he's gonna use it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Especially the day before this meeting. He's got to be using it tonight.
Yeah.
Then I guess we have no choice but to wait until tonight to try to go back in. If it's been used, it's been used. If not, then Nathan, maybe you can think of some way to give it a better life than just letting it pass on.
I can think of a few ways. Some of them selfish, but I'm doing my best to keep those far from the front of my mind. But the option I like the best is having it turn into a tree of its own and grow from there. That way the Baron still gets to keep his friend and it gets another shot at life.
Now, hold on. This may be crazy, but so clearly this thing is intelligent. It's sentient. It has thoughts.
Yeah. It even knew that the powers that were granted with the weapons were that of a goddess.
Perhaps robbing it of its thoughts by making the tree isn't the way to go.
What do you mean robbing it of its thoughts?
I'm saying if we make it a normal tree, perhaps it won't have the same intelligent thinking that it does now. My thoughts are that what if we allow it to keep its conscious, but we make it someone tangible, someone real, someone for the Baron to have an actual friend.
So like
Person.
turn it into a person.
Is that even possible?
But
It
that
can
runs
create
the
things.
that
I
runs the
said
risk.
materials, right? So people are made of material.
But
It's
that
just
runs that runs the risk of it having the same power that it did before. And Eliza could use them to break through the rift.
Not if we word the wish correctly.
Well, and you said it was
I
the
mean,
last
people
wish,
have
right?
magic.
Yeah.
So
I
it
feel
might
like-
just be like a normal like person.
I feel like that kind of power isn't something that gets recycled or reset.
No.
I feel like once it's out, it's out.
But
And I mean,
I'm just
even
throwing
if
out
a little bit
suggestions. Go ahead.
rolls over. I mean, people have magic. Look at you. Look at. I point to Nathan. Look at you. Look at point to Azravana. Look at Azravana, Dea, Osborne.
I'm just trying to provide suggestions that will prevent others from using its power poorly and still provide it with some semblance of
Life.
happiness.
Yeah.
But these are just my suggestions. In all actuality, I think, Nathan, you should be the one making this decision.
Last time I made a big decision with plants.
Yes, I'm aware,
Well.
but that was in the past. This is now. You're getting
You've
another
learned a lot
chance.
from since then. You've grown a lot.
Also,
Why not just ask
forgive me-
it?
Oh, you could do that.
Ask it what it wants.
So it sounds like either way we're waiting until tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, and although something did just come to mind, and forgive me if this comes off as a callous, but shouldn't we maybe be focusing more on this meeting rather than a tree that may or may not be there tonight? That
So,
most likely isn't even going to be there.
so a tree that can make anything just by speaking words is not an issue.
I just don't think it's going to be there. I think if he's got a plan for it, he's going to do it either today or tonight. And if we have to somehow sneak past him, I'm just.
We'll find out tonight.
If it's
we can
not
use
there
today to
tonight,
discuss.
And
Yeah.
I mean, all the things we're talking about is just helping the tree. Like I said, I haven't heard any idea how that would help stop Eliza, because if it's only things that can create, again, I'm not really sure how that would help us. And
Unless
If-
the tree knows
Stop
some
Eliza.
way how to slow down the curse at least, or maybe knows something about you. I mean, it can be, the trees can be destroyed, but very difficultly.
yeah, but the tree said that that's not something it can affect.
Didn't it
And
say it can't stop it? You never asked if it can't slow it down a little bit.
true.
It lived through the first time it saw the curse.
So I'm gonna need to rapid fire questions if I go back again. So I'll figure something out.
I'm sorry, Nathan. This is a lot on you.
I have to learn eventually. Doing my best.
Let's spend today getting everything else in line for the meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then tonight, you two can go back and see the state of the tree.
Yeah.
Just think about everything we've suggested as of so far, Nathan, and I trust you to make the right call if there is still a wish left.
Right. In the meantime, I have a wheat field I promised I'd fix.
Indeed.
Maybe
Alright.
Osmond should go with you to see if he can get into the meeting.
That might be a good idea.
I certainly can.
Yeah.
What of the rest of you?
I wanted to go help out with those wheat fields, but
Good.
yeah, you still
that's
could.
what
I mean, it would-
Asravana will do.
Yeah.
So, while the rest of you are thinking about what you want to do, I believe Nathan, Asravana, and Osmond, we're going to go check out the dead grain.
Yes.
All right. You make way to the outskirts of town. The very faintest signs of rain are on the horizon. You feel a drop or two on your nose. And you make your way out to where your friend had indicated that the patches of dead grain were. Gorogor.
Mm-hmm.
It is as he said, and has grown since last, not by much. You see this several meter wide patch of wheat that has just wilted. In the middle of a very rich field, There is no
Is this-
sign.
Oh, I was going to ask if this is the only patch.
No. There's a few. Just like it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Fuck it. So I'm going to use up one of my wild shapes to turn into a hawk and try and get an aerial view to see if there's a pattern.
There does not seem to be a pattern of any kind. It just appears to be very unnatural.
Okay. Then I'm gonna come back down, shift back. I'm gonna. You said you felt it near the sea, Az?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if I can find anything. I don't know what all you were planning on doing, Oz, but
Whatever you need me to do. This isn't really my area of expertise.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to learn. I do want to try something before I do anything else. Maybe it's be a band-aid, but let's see. And I'm gonna do plant growth.
Just need to double check something real quick.
Okay.
Cool. So I imagine you are trying to enrich the plants.
Yes.
You see immediate improvement in the wheat.
Okay.
I think in
so,
time they will recover. A few days.
Okay. So even if it's not permanent, it's at least a band-aid. I am gonna go look and see what I can find in the water. If nothing, then
Before you go, do you have any way of clearing ground or digging downwards or anything?
oh yeah, I have stuff for that. Why?
I'm kind of thinking perhaps maybe the source of whatever is causing these plants to die is underneath them. Because I know that there was a lot of talk about underground being where the magic happens, and that's where a lot of things go down. So, just a thought, though.
That's true.
I do want to talk to Gorogora before I do anything, but that might be yeah. So I'm gonna go clear that with him before I start doing my shit.
Let's go chat with them, I guess.
Yep.
You find him tending the fields as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my friends.
So, nice to see you again, as always. But so I have a couple questions. Well, news and then a couple questions. I was able to remedy the wheat a little bit. I don't know if it'll be permanent, but they should recover within a few days. I did want to. My friend Osmond here, he has a hunch. I did want to check to make sure that there wasn't anything ailing them from below.
I'll just kind of nod slightly and hold out my hand. Don't believe we've met.
Gorogor.
Nada.
This large dragonborn, his hand is like the size of your head. So he has this really firm handshake even for you.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be anything under these fields, we would know.
Okay.
It was just a hunch. I heard someone talk about how occasionally there's a lot that goes on beneath the city, and I just figured that maybe it could be something weird that you didn't know about. But I'm no farmer, so...
From my understanding, beneath the city was a rumor for where the Baron's ironbark supply was held. But if you think this will help your investigation, we won't stop you. We only ask that you keep it away from the fields at first.
Right, and that's my intention.
Appreciate it.
The other question I had is when we spoke before, you mentioned a couple of invitations. Was that in the more literal sense?
How many do you need?
Ideally, 6.
6 invitations. I suppose I can swing it, although I warn you, it might be terribly boring for your friends. This is meant to be a business meeting with all of the Baron's immediate business partners. The state of Ironbark in the next few years.
Perhaps a smaller number would be more beneficial to us, Nathan.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking maybe only 2 or 3 of us.
Okay, so then 3 of us, you, me, possibly like Dea?
If she wants to come.
Right. 3 will suffice then.
Very well. It'll be done.
I appreciate it. And again, I'll see if there aren't any other causes, but again, the wheat should come back.
Thank you for all your assistance.
My pleasure.
He waves you goodbye and goes back to his work.
As
Your
we
day.
head off, once we're...
No, please.
I was going to say, as we head off, once we get out of earshot of him, I'm just going to kind of say quietly to both of them, you know, something just clicked back there, and it could be totally wrong, but if I remember correctly, Yusla was mad at the Baron for not giving up his supplier of ironbark. What if the tree is his supplier?
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why supplies have dwindled, is because he doesn't want to make the last wish.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. And we fed into that shit. Great. Good to know.
Let's see if we can find.
Yeah.
Your search results do not yield much. You go out towards the sea and you dive, you look around. There is no sign of anything magical that would drain wheat or anything of their properties. Azravana, even through your further... Actually, if you could hold Arcana for me, Azravana.
I will do that.
And I doubt this is a long shot, but I'm gonna. Can I see if there's like any way that maybe the land is like cursed or afflicted by some?
How would you like to
malign
do
force? I suppose just occasionally as we go about, kind of like detect evil spells combined with just kind of like going off gut feeling. You know, as like, does this feel bad here? Or...
You do not detect any evil, any curses, but you do detect the faintest of blessings.
Blessings.
Not over anything in particular, but over the land as a whole.
Interesting.
All right.
I'll noodle that.
I got a 24.
Okay. The directions from which the wheat was rotting, it's all from the direction of the sea. Not in that it is immediately in the ocean, but that whatever had caused it was coming from that direction. Like an approaching mass. You do notice it is a bit more like a fan spread out. coming from kind of the way that you came from the Cadmium Sea, from the ocean, in that general area.
So I gather we don't have long before
No.
Chase gets here.
Great. Fantastic.
We should get back then.
Yeah.
What about the other three of you? Do you do anything today?
Dave
I
might
feel
ask
like in a
Lola
normal-
if she was gonna add any ideas of do.
Yeah, I feel like in a normal circumstance, Vola would want to walk around and explore the town, but she hates this town. So I feel like
Ruined.
Vola is just, yeah, it's the people on the dock just ruin. Like
Fair.
it's all awful. So she's probably just gonna like honestly sit there and try and figure out what she's gonna do all, and then maybe like just draw portraits of people in the tavern or something.
Deo would probably approach you, kind of see that you're kind of trying to figure out what to do, and say, "Hey, do you want to maybe take a walk somewhere away from the port and just see? You
Sure.
might get more pictures of people that are out and about rather than I'm guessing the tavern isn't that busy at the moment."
No, not at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Ari, are you gonna be okay? Do you want to come with us, or?
I mean, I guess I could go with you. I'm not really planning on. I don't have any plans. I don't know what to do, really.
Join the party, then. You'll fit in great.
All right.
So,
Go with them.
do you want to accomplish anything on this trip? Or is it just a fun thing to do?
I think we're just,
Sightseeing.
biding time while, because
Like-
Deikata doesn't know what to do either, and,
Do you
Maybe
enjoy...
just trying to not hate everyone who lives here.
yeah.
You
Trying to find the
enjoy...
good people to redeem it.
You enjoy the rain. It is light. Not so much that's going to soak you, but enough to just kind of keep you on your toes. You drop by the seamstress for Nathan's outfit, and you pay the remainder of what you owe. It is a pleasant day. There's this weird... You don't have a lot of times in your adventures where you stop and can just appreciate what you have. Through many choice encounters with various merchants, creeps on the street, and everything else in between, it amounts to a pretty good day before you decide to meet up with Osbin, Azurvana, and Nathan at the tavern before they debrief you on what you have.
About what time of day is it by the time we're all back?
We're going to say it's noon.
It's really nice body.
So then, I imagine that the three of us just noodle everything that we
Yeah, I'd imagine.
found and talked about and stuff.
Extreme noodle.
Extreme noodles.
Extreme noodle.
Just another Friday night.
It's Saturday.
Shut up.
Is it?
Anyway.
It is yeah.
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah.
What needs to happen tonight?
Apparently, we're going back into recon.
Back
This is
into
Nathan's
recon.
episode, man.
Really?
Y'all need to take a nap.
There's
Bravo
also
6
something
going
that
dark.
Azurvana wanted to do.
Ari's all nice and rested. I don't
What'd
know
you
about
say?
y'all. Ari's good to go.
There's something Azurvana wanted to do. She wanted to go to the fields and kind of hang out and see if she could catch the wilting happening.
Okay. I make a perception check.
Oh, she's gonna use Mira too to help, like, see a wider
Okay.
area.
You do so. Make a perception check. And you can do it with advantage because Mira.
Got another 24.
Holy shit.
She's rolled like 2 times this whole session, but they've all been baller rolls.
Really, they have, and I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
It takes you into the night, actually. Magic is a little bit more ambient, it seems, in the light of the moon instead of the sober light of the sun. We're going to come back to you later,
That is fine.
but it does start to rain a little bit more, and so you find shelter. Yes,
I was going
Austin.
to say, since it's still kind of like midday,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to see if Deo wanted to come with me to go to the Church of the White Willows.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
I saw that look.
Church date.
Church date.
Church date.
First date.
Church date.
Aw, it's like the first date.
Oh, let's hope it doesn't get stuck in some stained glass.
Yeah.
Anyway, you make your way up to the church. It seems whatever mass or service was happening had just ended because there's a lot of busybodies on the street with the white willow crest stitched into their clothing. It is this relatively nice-sized church put together by a lot of different carpenters working together in sort of like a Gothic style that stands out from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
These big windows, all like pretty circular in nature, and these large double doors, wooden, that are just open.
We'll head in.
Oh.
It's a comfortable space. It's not super wide, but it is pretty tall. Like you can see clear up into a bell tower. The bells themselves ring and echo throughout the whole sanctuary, even now. Candles everywhere, kind of a darker atmosphere. In the rain just helps add to the mood. You see an altar and a huge window overlooking the town from like this little hill they find themselves on, from where the preacher presumably speaks. And you both see, actually I'm not sure if it's both, I forgot if both of you were there, I think it might just be Osmond. You see a familiar face in Sister Scavo.
Oh no, I was there.
Were you there?
You're about there.
Yeah.
Well, you see Renee, or Sister Scavo, putting a bunch of books together and putting things away, sweeping a little bit as she tries. And it is a pretty peaceful area. You don't see any signs of deities that you would recognize.
I was gonna ask that. So.
Beautiful architecture in here.
Yeah. Really big. Wow, look at how far that goes up.
All the way to
If I catch Sister Scava's eyes, I'm gonna wave.
Yeah, start just making my way over. I imagine it's kind of, since the church is empty, our footsteps kind of echo.
Yeah, they do. Hey, sweet. Oh, hi! Oh, and she sees you, Osmond. Hi. She doesn't have any like stray hairs really because she's just like freshly like clothed, but she does the motion anyway of like pushing her hair behind her ear.
In her habit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, hi! It is so good to see you guys. If you come for service and you might be a little bit late.
Oh, well.
We just came to visit. We wanted to see the grounds and...
Free to walk around. This place is open for all of the common people who wish to learn. Not that you're common. That's not what I meant at all. In fact, what I would probably say was, just people.
It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
I didn't see any iconography around. Might I ask what your church's beliefs?
You may. Yes. Here we worship the ivory goddess. An old deity. One of the first, actually. It is, seeming to believe. We call ourselves the Church of the White Willows in honor of the willow trees, for which she is both, which she largely represented back in her time. It is a religion for the common people and for anyone who just is looking to help other people. A lot of religions kind of can get bogged down in helping themselves, convenient, only showing up on all the holidays and little else. But here it's more of a community. We do what we can to help each other. And that is what our ivory goddess stands for.
That's very lovely.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite a valiant sentiment.
We're hoping to get a few more churches built up. Everything you see here was built actually by our parishioners. A few gifted craftsmen here that you only really find in Warren Valley, like, it's real. But we're hoping to get a few more places actually set up, maybe on like the outskirts of the valley, so we can help more of like the farmers. We really see our churches as a place for like the center of like our communities. Then we just kind of spread out from there.
Right. It's a beautiful place you have. The other day I spoke to Yusla.
Yes.
She seemed to not quite have a good eye for your church. Do you mind me asking why?
It's true, Mrs. Darren and all of the rest of us have had some conflicting views. She is very, what's the word? Stuck in her ways, I suppose. The two goddesses here in these parts are Vianta and Aostra. And so when another religion kind of appears, it's seen as something of an attack when it's not the goddess of fire or nature. We're looking to help, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I hate to ask for someone so sweet, but can I tell if she's trying to hide anything?
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
From our history, let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always the ones we love that turn out to be just...
It's always the cinnamon roll.
Oof, that was good. 19?
She does not seem... She seems to believe every word she says.
Okay.
Very honest, and weirdly, the nice thing seems to be legit.
Okay. Can you, when you get a chance, can you spell out the deities' names?
Yeah. I will do that right now in the chat.
Thank you.
Perfect.
But if there's something else I could do for you guys, I don't want to keep you or anything. I don't know what you really...
This was nice.
Yeah.
Of course, we may not be...
We come from very far away, so this is really... It's nice to see churches like this.
Well, this is a home for everyone.
I think we'll stick around for a little and just kind of take in some of the sights.
Wonderful. You enjoy your day. I have a lot to do, a bit busy. None and all that. And looks to you, Osmond, just like, bye. And just prances away.
Dave gives him a little nudge and a little smile.
Osmond rolls his good eye.
Rolls eye.
Rolls the one eye. It's a little eye.
While we're kind of just walking around and just looking at the common grounds and stuff, is there any donation plates or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll drop 3 gold.
And you see little booklets of scripture and hymnals and whatnot. But how many gold do you put in?
Just 3.
Okay, 3 gold.
I'll follow suit with that.
Wonderful.
Unless you have anything else, I think that's all
Yeah,
I
no.
have.
Chidea's taken in the sights. Yeah, is this one of the bigger churches she's been around? I mean, considering just
It's
the few
really
that
not.
she's come across.
It's really not that big. It's tall. There's a bell tower. Honestly, the church in Faldron was huge by comparison to
Huge,
this.
yeah, okay. So she's gonna just take some time, take it in.
And you hear like some people praying in a different pew, and you even see confessional booths. It is a weirdly pleasant spot.
Happy church date. Sweet. Okay, cool.
Yep, I think that's all.
What else needs to happen today? All right. Again, Azerban, I'll come back to you. So, for the sake of brevity, so who is going again to the door? Are you going, Ari?
Nathan had best be taking a nap.
That is if Nathan wants me to go with him. If he does, then yes, I will go. If he doesn't, then he can go by himself if he wants.
Nathan's gonna just leave that up to Ari or whoever else might want. He's happy to go alone, but he is not gonna say no to company.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with him as backup.
Anyone else?
Osmond's not stealthy.
I'm not stealthy.
All right. You find your way through the exact same path that you took at the same time you did. You find a side door that was opened between the guards and between your, I'm assuming, cat again form.
Mm-hmm.
And invisibility, you have no issues getting through.
Mm-hmm.
You find your way to the door. Yeah, honestly. You find your way to the door, and you find your way to the door, sorry. And move the rug again, and assemble the portrait in the way that you remember. And nothing happens. It does not fit properly.
Nathan, still as a cat, just like looks over to Ari and just like nods toward the exit.
Yeah, that's not good. We should go.
So you just want to abandon, like, check out, go? Is that what's going on?
Well, I mean, this is the only entrance we could really find, right? There weren't any other entrances whenever we were in the grove.
From what you gather, no. You could try changing the picture, different things, or do you just want to book it?
Let's try maybe 2 more different things. If they don't work, we'll leave. So the tree didn't work. So, let's see if we can maybe arrange it into the picture of the Baron.
You do so, and it does not work the way you think it does. A bit too intricate.
Nathan's gonna get up on his back legs and with his front legs just kind of like trying to mimic paddling.
Like the water, fuck. There was a lot of ones that had like ocean and water in it, right?
I mean, it wasn't like the focus. It just happened to be there.
Sure, let's see if we can maybe get it to look like the ocean or maybe a wave, water of some kind.
A wave does the trick. And you're presented with the same staircase.
We proceed.
You find yourself back into the chamber with the stump. Still there. As the door locks behind you again.
Alright, Nathan. Well, how much time we got?
And so I'm gonna approach the stump and just like rest a paw on it and try and talk to it without casting a spell this time.
I'm gonna stay by the staircase in case I hear footsteps coming down.
Alright. Hello again. Young John.
Hi.
It is nice to get visitors so often.
Well, you seemed pleasant enough, and I've thought a lot about your offer. And I'm assuming that the Baron has his own idea of how he wants to send you off, as it were.
My time comes tomorrow. I've been wondering, perhaps I should not have given you that offer. The boy is what gave me so much joy. And it was not fair for me to ask you.
Well, then let me ask you something. What would you want?
I'm sorry?
In your last days, what would you want of them?
I want what I always wanted. To be of use. I do not care how my wish is used, only that it makes someone happy.
Would you want another chance at life?
Another chance? There is no other chance for me.
So there is no way to make you into a person or another tree of sorts.
A person? What a curious thought. I'd never considered the possibility before. But another tree starting over. The powers given to me don't just fade.
Meaning Eliza wouldn't have another avenue in.
Meaning they would have to go somewhere.
So either way, the magic needs to be.
The magic must be used. Do not feel sad for me, Druid. Although I will say, that idea you had earlier was very strange and creative.
I can't take all the credit for it. One from one of my friends.
A good mind, your friend.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? Do not ask for what I want. What do you want?
What I specifically want is not an option.
What is that?
I'm not allowed to be selfish right now. Not only by what I have to do, but what I am allowed on my own. So If creating a body for yourself is not possible, then
Creating a body?
a way for you to restart.
I cannot become another version of myself. I cannot be another tree. My children will live on for me.
So you have had saplings before?
The iron bark. All of it comes from my boughs.
That was one theory. Then
A person, though. My, that is a fascinating thought. What do you want, Druid? You said you did not want to be selfish.
no.
I ask that you reconsider. I was put on this plane to make other people happy. To give them what they could not achieve on their own.
See, that's the problem. The only thing I really want, I'll be able to achieve on my own eventually. It would just be a shortcut, and that sounds like cheating.
Oh, why don't you tell me? Before you use a wish, I do not mind some conversation.
I'll make it short since I don't know how much time I have until your friend returns. But I left home to make sure my family's happy and that they're safe. And that list keeps growing, not what I want, but who is on the list, who I need to keep safe. And there's a specific group who have stayed right on the front lines that I worry about every fucking day. Yeah.
What would you have me do?
I know they can hold their own. If you'll just give me 1 second. And I'm gonna... It's okay, I can use a spell. I'm gonna shift back into Nate and look to Ari. So, a body is a curious thought, they have said. I don't know if reincarnation will work with this, but I don't know. A person, they said, is a curious thought. I don't know what else to do right now. I am trying very hard not to be a selfish motherfucker. No.
I don't really know too much about magic. I have my spells, and that's about it. I don't know how it would work. You are unfortunately asking the wrong person.
I'm not asking, I'm more just trying to find other options that don't involve me. It's just for my benefit.
Can I ask what it is you would ask the tree to do?
You probably don't know them. The rest of the group does, so it has less stakes for you, but the fallen sons I used to travel with, just making sure that they stay safe from all this. But
I'm not sure I'd exactly call that selfish, but
it doesn't benefit anybody else but them, and so
still keeping people. I not the time to be having this discussion.
yeah.
Oh wait, no. This is all enough. That's right. We're alone. This isn't really the time to be having this discussion. I don't have advice for you, unfortunately, and I wish I did. I don't know what to do.
And the person idea, the magic would need to go somewhere. It doesn't fade.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, people have magic, right? You have magic.
Yeah.
The majority of our group, your
Meaning,
group, sorry, has magic.
meaning the magic with the wish could possibly stay with whoever is made. To do with as they will.
Okay.
Which might... I don't know. That's still... Yeah. Depending on what the Baron hasn't.
Does the tree know what the Baron has planned?
I assume so. They know that their time is up tomorrow.
I mean, that might be useful information for us to have.
Yeah. So I can ask, but I think I'm just gonna try and give them their own.
Okay, but I would still ask if it knows what the Baron's planning to do, and if it does, get that information, because that could be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
What if the Baron is doing something good with it? Then, well, maybe we just maybe we let the tree's friends send it off. I don't know.
Okay. And so I'm gonna go back to the tree. So, before I make the decision, what will he have you do?
I will be made into a beautiful device. My fate is to tear down the wall, destroy the rift of rain. And I think that is an interesting end. Perhaps that way I will not be forgotten. That is my one fear in this form.
Is that you'll be forgotten.
You won't forget me, will you?
Never. No matter what form you take. Fuck. Then...
how can I make you happy before I am to vanish?
I have to think of the very specific wording. Fuck. And I can't just fucking Rocky Talkie husband, because that's gonna be again. Fuck.
Well,
I wish for you to use your magic to create a life of your own, the form of whatever mortal body you see yourself as, and live out your life finding not what makes others happy, but what makes you happy.
I would ask this of me.
Yes.
Curious. And you hear the twisting of wood. You see roots uplift themselves from the very ground. It molds and shakes and cracks. You hear, you see the wood unnaturally, almost like a liquid, form and tear and constrain and mold itself into something as this huge mass of wood gets smaller, carving itself out into that of a body, forming perfect shapes of a woman. You see her completely made of wood. Her skin turning from that texture into that of normal, dark human skin. She twists and turns and writhes until she falls on the ground. Black hair. No clothing, by the way.
Yeah.
Black hair. And at first you don't think you hear any breathing. She rests in this crater in the center of the room.
Shit.
Nathan is gonna rush over and try and help her up, make sure that she's alive.
You look down in the crater and you skate down. You try to help her up, and she just pushes herself up a little bit. And she has these wild green eyes that that are very bright, almost fluorescent. Freckled face and darker skin. And she smiles at you, and she's just like, she tries to make words, but nothing comes out.
Take it slow.
And she can't help but laugh as she tries to stand and keeps falling flat on her face.
I'll try and help her and brace her up on her feet.
You are watching all this happen, by the way, Arianlin.
Oh no, the second she turned into a human and saw that he saw that she wasn't wearing anything, he just very respectfully turned his back. Keeping watch. He's just trying to be respectful and also keeping an ear out for footsteps and or wood shifting upstairs.
You hear none of that.
Cool. Yeah, he's just standing invisible, hands behind his back, just giving her trying to be respectful.
She takes in all of the light around her. Clueless is what to do. Taking everything in for the first time. And saying nothing. Every time she tries to speak, she can't get anything out.
It's hard to... I don't even know how to explain.
She hugs you.
I'll hug her back.
And this is about the time that you hear wood start to move, Arianlin.
Oh shit. So I was just gonna clear herself. I think we got company and we need to plan a retreat. Is she coming with us or are we leaving her here?
Fuck, I didn't think this far ahead. Because if it's gone and she's only... That could be very bad. And she can't speak, meaning that she can't explain who the she is. Okay, sorry, give me a sec to look at the specifics of a spell real quick.
Might want to get that girl some clothes too.
Yeah.
She naked, she don't care. She was a tree 3 minutes ago.
Free. This is freaking Ariel in tree form.
Yeah, actually.
She's just happy to have freaking legs and.
Except, here's the thing: if we do take her with us, how the fuck?
She I can move. She hasn't been able to move the past 3,000 years or whatever, and now all of a sudden she got legs.
Yeah.
And arms and fingers.
So, I'm guessing that the
Jesus.
tree was, or the stump was the largest plant in this room, yeah?
That was the only plant in this room aside from grass.
Grass start, ready, go.
You hear footsteps come down.
Fuck. Fuck. I'm trying to find the fucking spells. Shit.
Starts to slow down a few paces away now.
Fucking. I'm gonna. Shit. Fuck me dead. I'm gonna go ahead and. Wait. Hold on. Fuck. No, that won't work.
Run out of time.
Druid spellship. Druid spellbook.
Polymorph.
Yeah, I'm looking,
Cat
but
or something. We need
Okay,
to get out of here.
yeah. So polymorph her.
Yeah, that's not confusing.
You gotta be like, okay, just follow me. Whatever happens, and I'm gonna polymorph her into a cat. And
Gosh.
it's gonna wild shape. I'm gonna wild shape. Fucking into another cat. And is there like a dark corner I can hang out in for like a few seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna try and hide there.
Okay, so are you trying to take her with you?
Yes.
She.
As long as they're still down here, so am I. I'm gonna hang out like by the staircase in case I'm gonna prep darkness in case they're spotted.
Okay. You hide in the dark corner. Make a stealth roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh shit.
Actually, make it normal because this is a dark corner, and normally you'd have disadvantage. Okay, no, make it normal. Just roll.
Okay, let's see if I can make that happen again. Not as good, but still great. So that's stealth.
It was just a straight roll. There was no disadvantage. I lied. Straight roll.
Straight roll?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
No way.
Yeah, the first one was a nat 20. That's why I was like, let's see if I can make this happen again.
Sweet. You take her and you both hide. You kind of like put her like behind you. She's like stand guard. McKeith appears. Wordless. And he runs and dives into the crater almost. He skates down and Barrett like gets on all fours. You see him like churn up dirt. You see he screams and you start to hear like cry, like the screams turn into cries. Like, where is she? Where?
I'm gonna try and like push her out up the stairs.
You make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Because you see her like leaving the darkness and looking towards McKeith. Kind of sad. What'd you roll?
I haven't rolled yet, but I'm very. I don't.
She still has the brains of a tree, so like you don't have to roll that high.
Yeah, that's fair. You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay, and I use my stats.
That was
Which
better.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
That's a 5 because I don't get a modifier to charisma.
Would you believe that was better than what she rolled?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was
Oh my
naked
god.
with charisma.
And she follows you out. You all run up the stairs. She follows you as closely as she can out of the mansion and into the streets. They cause some amount of commotion with two cats just like darting past the guards. We're like, what the fuck? And you make your way back to the Golden Gull.
And so, once we get
Oscar
there,
wouldn't have gone to bed, knowing
Yeah.
what was going to go down tonight.
Oh, Dad waited up for him.
Oh yeah.
Did Mom?
100%.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Mom would have stayed up too.
so once we're in alleyways, Nathan's gonna shift to Nathan, but he's gonna keep her polymorphed for now.
She's
he's
very
gonna,
confused.
He's gonna pick her up and just carry her.
They're in the tavern. Ari drops Cloak of Shadows and yells in Undercommon. So that did not go as planned.
What happened?
What have we done?
Data can't understand what he's saying.
What,
He's
are
just
they in an alley right now, or are they in the tavern?
They're in the tavern.
In the tavern.
In the tavern.
Oh,
And Nathan, like in Elven, is just. What did you want me to do?
I feel like
What have
Paula
what
might
have we
be away
done?
too, just because she's curious and she hasn't done anything all day, but she also has no idea what they're saying because she doesn't speak Elvish.
I know Elvish, so I can
Vola's
get
just
whatever's
like-
Elvish.
I imagine with a high insight, I kind of.
Before we get to this, Azravana.
Oh,
Oh boy. Here we go.
God.
Oh man!
Oh, boy.
Sitting outside.
Added tree lady.
Sitting outside in the rain. It is here when you see the erosion occur. It is, you marked it down, is the first hour of the day.
Okay.
You see a small patch of wheat start to droop. There is no person here that seems to cause it. You can't find anybody. It just starts.
Can I sense any weird magic?
Yeah, with your Arcana roll of earlier, it is definitely necromantic in nature. Something is drawing from the life in the surrounding area.
Can I see where it's drawing? Where it's being drawn to?
Again, in the general direction of like the ocean where you came from. It can, since it's not so rapid in the degeneration, you can guess whatever is doing it is still far away. Its reach is just quite large. You identify this behavior with a creature that you saw much earlier in your adventures. A shambling lord.
Shit.
Okay.
Anyway, that's your findings.
All right. I'm she'll go back to the tavern after that.
Wonderful.
And she's gonna find chaos.
And that's about the time that you walk in on them.
And
Like,
Nathan's just
Nathan has a
having, like-
cat.
Yeah, Nathan has a cat, like just holding it near his shoulder, just with the other arm up. What did you want me to do in Elwood?
What have we done?
I-
What have we done? What have
I
we
tried
done?
to do my best.
Why are we talking in Elvish?
Everyone, calm down. Let's go upstairs to a room where it's private. Yes?
Why do you have a cat?
Let's go upstairs.
I think I know why, but we'll ask upstairs.
Okay. Can we say we're upstairs?
So we make our way upstairs to our room.
Let's gather in Dad's room again. Let's get Mom and Dad's room.
Dad's room.
Nathan's just petting the cat because he doesn't know what else to do right now.
Okay, Nathan, why do you have a
His head is
cat?
in his head.
So is she actually a cat, or is...
This wasn't the plan. This wasn't the
What happened? Nathan, what happened?
Nathan, is
Yes,
that an actual cat,
Nathan,
or is that the tree?
please tell
Is the
them
tree
what
cat
happened
actually a
down there.
cat?
Okay, listen. Do we have like a blanket?
Yes, of course.
And I'm just gonna kind of like set the cat in the middle, and then like put the blanket around them. And I'm just gonna like whisper to the cat, try and cover yourself when things start changing. And I am going to let Polymorph go.
All of a sudden, what is under these blankets is this beautiful woman with freckles, dark skin, black hair, and wild green eyes. And she is pretty silent as she like inches up like against the wall and holds the blanket like to her neck.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to have things be this hectic. It was just a lot happening in a short.
She doesn't seem scared. She just seems very excited to try out her new legs.
Does someone want to get her some actual clothes?
I have some. What size does she look like?
Like Bola size? Or
Are you like a 6 or?
How tall is she?
Like, well, no. Is she
How
like?
wide is she?
Tall? Is she 6.5 feet, half feet tall? Is she?
I like the idea that everybody's already planning their next shopping day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is she thick?
Is she thick? Is she thin? What are we working with here?
She is. Thanks. I hate all of you.
I just want to know if she needs to fit whose clothes she will fit in.
Yeah.
More likely Vola's than anybody.
Okay, so I'll go grab an extra pair.
She does look more on the thick-ish side.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to. I
believe the term is slim thick.
Slim
Okay.
thick.
So
Ooh.
I'm
She got
like in
them
my
curves.
pajamas right now. So I have my pair of traveler's clothes, but now I don't have any other clothes. I only have pajamas. So I'm in my pajamas, and I'm gonna give her my clothes
We can.
because I only have one pair of clothes apparently.
We can go shopping. We can get.
So,
Don't pretend you're not excited for that.
What happened here?
so what happened is the best option I thought was that we give the tree a life of their own to do as they wish. You know, because then they're a person, they can decide what the fuck happened with what they got.
Osmond looking like an idiot.
That's beautiful, Nathan.
That's an amazing decision.
You did good,
And I'm just gonna like go up to her, and now she's all like wearing my clothes and stuff, and I'm gonna be like,
She probably needs. I'm
You
gonna
need-
help her.
Yeah, you definitely need to help her put on clothes.
I'm helping because I'm realizing I'm just like she's a tree.
Yes, she's a tree.
Showing her what a
Like an
shirt.
infant.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. Azavana, you can do that thing where you allow us to talk telepathically, yeah?
Yes. Oh,
Perhaps
you know what?
that
Yes.
might help us communicate.
Yes.
Hawk is gonna love this.
Oh!
I cast my telepathic bond.
Ah, yes, the telepathic
Hard.
bond.
Words are hard.
That sounds like a two-part epoxy.
Telepathic.
Okay, you do so. She gets very excited whenever anybody touches her. So, like, isn't it like a range of touch that you have to do that?
like we're all like holding
It's
hands.
30 feet.
Okay, never mind. So she just gets like, whoa. Magic. And the bond is set.
So I know you can hear us.
You see this big smile on her face, and as she just thinks, hello?
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
Tree? I don't have a name.
Okay. That's gonna need to be figured out at some point.
And I'm just gonna like turn to Osmond and Nathan and be like, what is the word for tree in like Elvish? Because that'll be a name to me.
You just give it to her.
I imagine it would be Agora.
She kind of cringes, like, once that name, like,
Maybe we can give you some options and we can show you things.
Depending on
Be
the
drawn
Elvish
to
you're
you.
basing it on, the Lord of the Rings Elvish, it translates to Galad.
God.
okay, we can figure this out later because you're just making me cry. Anyway. Hi. I don't know what's going on right now.
So,
Here,
Wow.
first, do you remember?
She walks up to you, Azravana, and like reaches out and really wants to touch your hair.
Azravana just does this. Go ahead. It's your first chance at life. I'll be nice. Or second chance, I guess.
But she just like, as she's like talking, she systematically like goes up to each and every one of you and just like touch. And if you have like any like bubbles on or anything, she like messes with them.
oh, like the fish
Oh my
hook in
God.
Nathan's
Azravana
ear.
brings out Mira.
Yeah, actually.
Mira, Nathan's fish hook, like.
Oh wow.
But this is her general state. Please go on.
Right.
I love
you-
her.
Do you remember
Precious
anything
baby.
about?
Oh, I remember everything.
Okay, that's good to know.
I guess so. Does she? So she's getting her legs. She can walk around or something.
Ish,
kind of
ish.
I have a
Yeah.
very like Little Mermaid feel about this.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess yeah, the ultimate question is Nathan had this wish. What do you, it's hard to say, what do you want to do when there's so much now that you have yet to experience?
Well, now you got legs. You can go anywhere.
Maybe it would be best if she was supervised, at least until she understands
Yes.
the world a bit.
Agreed.
Right. I agree. Okay.
She's just so excited.
We're gonna have
She
to.
wordless, even in her mind. Just like so many things are happening right now. She even takes
Azravana
real
thinks
advantage.
She's the cutest thing ever.
She like goes to like the wooden boards on the walls and just like touch like every grain.
So, I'm assuming that Dea, you'll want to look over her, especially for shopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
also
worry about
probably
taking her out in
clothes.
public though at the moment.
Yeah.
We can just go get me clothes. She can wear mine.
Yeah.
Ari, I can't help but notice you look a little freaked out. Something on your mind?
Oh, yeah. Just a little. Just a little. A lot has happened in the past hour.
Well, yeah.
Oh, what's gonna happen when the Baron finds out?
He already knows. Not that.
I just kidnapped someone. I just kidnapped someone.
Yeah, and
You
we're
what?
gonna have.
She hugs you.
Can't come with us either.
Wait, who's she hugging?
You, Nathan.
Oh.
I just kidnapped her.
And he's just like looking around with his arms like that, like, like even in his brain, it's just,
This
And she, like, stops.
plan.
And has this idea and runs out of the room.
Everybody panic, like, Lila!
Everyone tries to panic grab her.
It's like a Scooby-Doo, everyone's
I imagine she's fast because
At
she
a
was.
speed of 50 feet.
No, she's not that fast. She still can barely walk, so really her running is like her like clobbering into everything.
I'm gonna stand by the door. Arms crossed. No. For right now, it's probably best you stay here.
What was her thought? Did she project it to us or not?
oh, yeah.
Rain!
Rain.
Oh, right.
If you
Okay.
stay next to us, we can go out into the rain, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take her hand.
I'll go out into the rain.
Here, Az, you grab the other hand.
Yeah, Azravana's got the other hand.
If Dea and Azravana, if you want to supervise her for the moment, I
Yeah.
think some of us should discuss perhaps what our next step is.
We have discovered
And I'm just
part 2 of the Zombie Mom series. Tree Moms!
I just want to be like to Osmond. I'd be like, can I also go hang out and supervise with her?
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yes. I go out
We
there.
can still communicate because of the telepathic bond. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Tree moms.
But I'm out there.
Tree moms.
Yeah, it was just more or less I can see Ari stressed, so I want him in a room that's not where she is.
He's having a breakdown.
Stressing the fuck out.
I am perfectly calm.
And this is like what, 1 or 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, we've had some long nights.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's been rough.
So
Right. So Baron knows.
yeah, he knows that the tree is gone. He doesn't
so
know
that
what's
means he'll
happening.
probably be looking for the tree.
He's going to be looking for anybody who has any power, most likely, given that the most likely thing that happened is somebody used a wish. And he kicked a cat yesterday, meaning he probably figures that it's somebody with shape-shifting
So-
abilities.
If we're being honest with ourselves, did Nathan tell us about the orc in the building?
He is not.
I know.
Oh,
Uh,
no, you did.
I have not.
No.
Can we discuss the orc in the room?
Happy.
Yeah.
Unless he knows other powerful people, which I imagine he probably does, he'll be looking for powerful travelers that have recently come to his city.
So
I think Nathan and Ari at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like.
At the
Yeah,
realization.
Nathan's like, so what did Fulla say that her the orcs we should be avoiding look like?
Oh, me? Sorry. What?
No, Nathan's saying that out loud.
Oh, okay.
Are you saying it out loud or are you projecting it? Because
'Cause
I am outside.
Saying it out
roll.
loud. He's trying to keep his thoughts quiet right now.
So he's not projecting it to me, so I can't hear.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I mean, we could just ask her.
If it is who I think it is, that could be very bad.
Yeah, we might have seen this person, this orc we're supposed to avoid, but
Oh,
yeah, I think
Oh,
he's
great.
staying at the Baron's estate. We only saw him for a brief moment. He was walking up some stairs, but
well, if the Baron knows of his presence, I presume his first thoughts will be to accuse them. But I doubt it'll take a whole lot on their end to convince him it wasn't.
Especially if I am there. Because Gregora knows my skill set. He knows what I am, and I'm sure that Gorgor knows what I am, and I'm sure that if it is made known that I am a druid, I'm assuming that shapeshifting is not that secretive about druids.
So, it sounds like to me is we need to find some way to let him know the truth. Whether it's the full truth.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily trustworthy, because he was planning on opening the rift.
He what?
who's planning? Oh yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Nathan hasn't said anything.
No, he hasn't said anything about that.
Yeah, he's planning on opening the rift. That's what he was planning on doing with the last wish, is making the machine to open it.
I thought he said out of character. I thought he said to destroy it, but
He
No, I
didn't
think,
say
I
that.
think it was a device to open it.
He wanted to open it up. Yeah.
then I definitely heard something different.
He said destroy.
Oh, he said
Destroy it?
Vindication.
Oh,
Well, like, Wouldn't
Alright.
destroying an opening be the same thing? Because either way, the rift is gone and you can go through.
Yeah, technically.
Either way, I heard it as he wanted to go through it. He wanted something
Anyway.
to make it so he could go.
Get rid of the barrier.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway,
Well, something we must keep in mind is that's not necessarily a evil association.
right,
People who don't know about Eliza might not know the risk they'd be putting others in.
right. I didn't know what he wanted to do with all that, and I wasn't about to just give Eliza what she wanted.
It was a
Especially-
good call, I'll give you that. It was a good call.
You definitely did the right thing.
But now we're out of the frying pan into the fire here.
Well, what did you want me to do? It's either I left her there and possibly she just gets imprisoned for possibly using the wish.
No, Nathan, you did
I
the
don't
right
think that
thing.
would
That's
have-
not in question. The issue is now we find ourselves in a bit of a situation where we have to figure out a way to handle it that doesn't put our interests at risk.
Okay,
Because she can't come with us. Like,
she can't.
she's gonna get killed. She's gonna die if she comes with us.
Wait a second. Nathan, do you have any means of traveling around long distances fast?
If there's a tree, why?
I might have an idea. You see, I have the capability of transporting myself and others back to the Othenaeum.
Keeping her safe there.
Keep her safe there. Let her learn from them both how to speak and how the world works while we finish our business.
Right, but again, that has to be her decision to make. My whole promise with all this was that she...
Yes, of course.
And if, for all we know, she might want to stay here. I mean,
I feel
I don't
like
know.
it's...
You talked to her. I don't know how she feels about the Baron, but for all we know, she might want to stay here.
She might, but I also feel like it would not benefit us to just set her loose.
Yeah.
No, no, it-
First, so first we need to figure out the Baron's whole deal, figure out what he wants, and then figure out if to leave her with, and go from there. And if not, then we take her where you want Oz. Because I don't have any other places to take her. I know she can't stay with the Fallen Sons because she doesn't have any skills at the moment, and she will die.
What about your home?
I
know you said that you thought it was at risk.
Yeah. I actually hadn't thought about whether or not I could go home yet. Maybe. I don't know. I still... Yeah, that's another thing. I still don't know if...
Right. Well, I think regardless, this is going to change our plans for the next couple of nights.
Yeah.
Especially involving the meeting. I don't think
Yeah.
it would be smart for a lot of outsiders to attend.
Right.
Such a place where the Baron will be looking for people like
Especially
us.
not after the tree is gone missing.
Yeah, so... How
So
do
we
we...
may have to find some other way to get in contact with Orson.
Can't you, like, talk to people, like, in their minds and stuff?
Have we seen Orson? DM?
I don't think
you have.
I was gonna say, I don't think I have.
You have not.
I have.
I can, but I need to know them, or at least have seen them.
Okay.
I mean, I've done in the past where I've been able to read someone's mind, hidden image, but they have to know that person pretty well for that to happen.
Right. Then
I could try scrying on him, but since all I have is a name, I doubt it will be very effective.
right. Then I guess who do we want to actually?
Let's bring the others back in and see what they have to say.
Meanwhile, outside,
Yeah.
Smile out in the
God.
rain.
Damn.
she lets go of your hand and dances in the rain. Like twirling,
Why-
staring up at the sky.
Why am I getting she makes you take your clothes off?
Sing in the rain.
Taking in, still, even though Vola gave her clothes, she's not wearing shoes. She's having a grand splashing around in puddles, laughing like a dumbass to herself. Super wholesome, TBH.
Oh, God.
And then you get the call in to go back inside.
5 more minutes.
Hold on. We're witnessing amazing moments.
Hey, if you guys want to stay longer,
Proud moms.
A bit of frolicking because I am also playing.
Yeah. Oh, you play with her? She eats it
no,
up.
I'm playing too.
Oh yeah. She has a hard time actually running and walking, and the dancing part doesn't really look like much of any of that. It's more like flailing, but she's having a grand old time.
Okay, well, I'm just flailing with her.
Good.
After a little bit, I'm like, we might have to. We don't want her to catch a cold. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just gonna grab her hand and be like, we should go inside.
She sneezed and looked very confused.
I'd be like, yeah, it's because of the cold. So you probably have allergies now.
Here, I'm gonna help bring her inside, and I'm gonna put Sai's cloak over her, and cover her up a little bit, try to warm her up.
She's appreciative.
You've never had to. You're going to have to pay attention. Bodies are very finicky. They are very sensitive. You need to keep warm, but not too warm.
Not too warm.
You can get sick, and which means you need to take care of yourself. Because, all right,
And I'm
we've
just
got
gonna
a
be
lot
like,
to
it's gonna
teach
be kind of like it. You can get sick, kind of like when the beetles go in and you get the boils or whatever, and you can get rid of those. But it's kind of like that can happen to bodies too. But the beetles aren't beetles; they're
germs.
I don't know, little tiny ghosts or something.
Yeah.
I just had a moment going through, and I'm like, shit, Vola doesn't know what viruses are.
You explain to her the basics of general anatomy
All right.
before making your way back upstairs.
Oh God, Daya's gonna whisper to Vola, "Who's gonna have the talk?"
Oh no.
We're not
Oh
doing that right now.
oh no.
She's very pretty too.
Oh no.
Putting that-
no!
Oh no.
Okay, can I just say though, while we're up there, I'm going to draw a portrait of her while we're in the room, so you all know.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for them to come back inside, Ari's just still rubbing his temples, and he just says, in Elvish, "Is this why people drink?"
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I really get it now.
Yeah. This is why I was drunk the other day and decided that going on a stage was a good idea.
Yep, never understood the appeal. I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Get it now.
We come back with a very wet. We're all very wet, but yeah, she's wrapped cloak and. She enjoyed the rain.
I'm glad to hear it.
She had a good time.
She might have allergies.
Or Or she might just be cold and we need to make sure she gets warmed up.
Right. So we covered a couple of things that we definitely need to consider. Noodles.
Noodles.
Oh boy.
Noodles.
So what's next?
So, it is. We discussed that it should be up to her what she wants to do, whether she should go to the Athenaeum to be safe and learn and grow, or whether she wants to stay here, come with us. We're just worried that if she comes with us, it will be a little too
Very
dangerous for
dangerous.
her.
And the same issue is presented with the Fallen Sons, and I can't guarantee her safety at home. But I mean,
Did the Baron treat you well as a tree?
The boy was always very good to me. She speaks finally, like with her own mouth, figuring it out. I only gave him what I could. But I have good memories of the boy. I loved him.
Well, then it sounds like he needs to know the truth, eventually, at least.
eventually.
Even if you don't want to stay, if you want to see the probably want to say goodbye at least.
I would like that.
Which brings us to our next question. You've heard us discussing different options. Which sounds best to you?
She looks at you, Nathan. I would love to see the world. And I think danger should be a good part of that.
Then I still want you to make sure that you're sure. So we'll still give it a couple days, especially.
I have had over 3,000 years to think this over.
Okay, then Oz, I guess,
Can't argue with that.
then at some point we should probably talk with Losi as well as the higher ups, Fallen Sun, see what will need to be done.
What if I mean,
Well,
I guess
did you want to go with the Fallen Sons, or did you want to go with us? Or there's lots of world seeing up.
we have a boat, ship.
We have a flying boat.
I've heard of those. The boy would tell me stories about them all the time. I would love to see one.
Okay.
And as Ravana remembers all of her monstrosities on the boat, is like,
Yep. As is Nathan, he's just like, there. Okay, so if you go with that option, there's a lot that we'll need to cover. But whatever option you choose will help. Fallen Sons are also good people. You decide to go with them.
Oh my gosh! We never introduced each other! I'm Dea!
Oh,
Hi.
yes, of course.
Oh my god.
Hi.
I'm so sorry! This is such a Hi.
This is a very rushed night. I'm Vola.
It's wonderful to meet you.
I'm sorry, I'm very bad at doing people stuff.
Yeah, this has been a weird night. I don't think.
Indeed. I'm Osman.
Hi. And she greets each and every one of you with an incredible amount of enthusiasm.
as Ravana tells her Mira's
Mira's what? Oh, Mira's name.
yeah.
She scratches her head.
All right. Well,
I suppose. I guess if you have any ideas of what you would like us to call you, otherwise we can keep an eye out for some ideas for you.
I have a few ideas.
Perfect. Maybe It is. You've never slept, have you?
No, but I'm excited to try.
It's like so like restful.
pure
Your
animal.
body just kind of like shuts down for a little bit, and then your brain plays like pictures that move in your head.
I'm gonna go try it. How do I start?
Okay, so that's a good thing to bring up. Whose room is she staying in?
She should stay with you two, Ari and Nathan, because Ari, I understand you don't have to sleep as long as we
I
do.
mean, I don't have to sleep as long as I get a few hours to just sit and.
That's not a problem, is it?
So if she.
No,
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 I don't see a problem with it.
I'm just saying.
Plus, I mean, if she can't sleep, then at least, someone's awake to make
Yeah,
sure that.
you'll have someone to interact with.
Awesome. What is it you say? Good night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, shit.
Follow
Go,
me.
Nathan.
Follow us.
Go, Nathan.
She holds onto your arm because she's still having problems walking.
Nathan braces her up.
Perhaps it would be best if we brought her to the Baron tomorrow.
I think they both need closure.
I do too. And if he knows the truth, then
If he really
perhaps-
cared, he would probably be happy.
exactly. And then I don't think we have to worry about any sort of accusation or authorities hunting for outsiders or anything.
No offense, I don't want to particularly be in a trial setting again if I don't have to.
No.
Felt a little bit too much like my father in that aspect.
I guess we'll figure it out in the morning.
Right. And is it just me, or do I have a feeling that maybe the Baron might have gotten the idea of how to use that wish from his advisor?
It's possible.
In truth,
Bola's like still in the room, like listening. And
My
all of a sudden,
only-
like, oh.
in truth, my only hope is that I can give you something. It's it feels so one-sided most nights. We live in darker times, so to speak. And it's just nice to think of having someone there with you, you know? I do not want you to feel used. For now, all I can give are these stories. And I hope that is enough. Good night, reader.